What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Kentucky Blue Neck with you. Guys, before we get going, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Hope you guys are having you a great freaking Sunday. Hope you had a great weekend. Now let's end it on a great note and just have the best day you've ever had in your life. How about that? All right, today's video, we'll talk about some activities, things that keep inmates busy, things that inmates do while they're locked up in prison for years and years at a time. But before I do that, I have two people I have to address, two comments that was asked. They asked questions, and I'm going to try to give them the best answer that I can. Okay, the first one is from Jennifer Smith, 6597. She says, I want to know about rape in prisons. Nobody that's been in prison ever wants to answer this. I hope you will. I love your channel. You keep it real. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy. Your question. Okay. I'm sure rape never happened. I never heard of anyone getting raped in the years that I've been locked up. Not to say that it doesn't happen, because it does. But that is something that, you know, yeah, if it happens, I'm sure you'd hear about it. But like I said, it didn't happen where I was. Being in real life prison, at least for me, and where I was and everything that I had seen and my experiences, is it's nothing like what you see on TV. You know, yes, it does happen sometimes, somewhere, whatever, but it's not like, you know, watching some shit on HBO. You know, it's not like you walk into a prison and there's a guy waiting at your cell they're saying there's going to be blood on my blade or shit on my dick, because that shit don't happen. I mean, like I said, it didn't happen where I was, but I'm sure it happens. I know the craziest thing homosexually wise that I'd ever seen was, it was nothing but a guy got caught sleeping, like actual sleeping, napping with another inmate in his bed, in his cell. They was all cuddled up, from what I heard. They was all cuddled up, and you know, that was all. I didn't hear of any penetration or intercourse or anything like that. It was just, I heard these guys was sleeping in the same bunk. And now the thing that I did hear about that situation that would completely rock my world and rock my family's world is, okay, they was caught together sleeping in bed, so they went to the hole, and then they got shipped to different prisons. They got transferred, separated. And from what I heard is, and now this is strictly rumor, I don't have 100% guaranteed fact that this is how it goes, but they say that if you're caught doing some kind of homosexual thing in prison, that once you're caught and shipped out, whatever, the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons, will send a letter to your family, to your house, whatever address you have on file, and it says something like, you know, John, we'll just say John. John was transferred from our prison to another prison for conducting a homosexual activity. To me, that could you imagine if you're a married man and you get that letter sent home, what your life's going to be like when you go back home? Wow, that shit's going to suck. But that, like I said, it didn't happen where I was. I never heard of it happening there. It's not something that is an everyday occurrence like it is on TV. So Jennifer, I hope that answers your question. You know, it's just one of those things. I'm sure it happens in a lot of places, just not where I was. Okay, the next one is from Vicky Ortiz, 3361. She said, okay, there is something I don't understand about people that do these things. And now this was on the Chad Dorman, one of the first videos about Chad Dorman. So that's what she's addressing here. Okay, there's something I don't understand about people that do these things. If they go to jail or prison and they say that the prison members are waiting for them to get their hands on them, and these are the people that commits crimes against children. Oh shit! Oh. Who are these other criminals that want to hurt these child abusers? The prisons are filled with people that have committed crimes against kids. So how can a bunch of child abusers, rapists, and child killers feel they have the right to beat that person up, hurt or judge any other kind of their kind? I'm sorry. Wouldn't that be hypocritical? Can anyone clarify that for me? I would really appreciate it. Okay. do the best I can. Yes, child molesters and child killers and stuff are all in prisons. They are. But they are completely outnumbered. It's probably 5 to 1, you know, when you think of just people that has killed, not child killers, just murderers that's killed somebody or robbed somebody or drug dealers. There is more drug dealers that has been incarcerated as there is murderers, you know. And each one of those guys, even though they have committed a felony crime and, you know, they have killed somebody or they have sold drugs to somebody or they have robbed somebody, whatever, when a child molester or someone that kills a child come in, it's a whole nother game. There's a different rule set that inmates go by. Protection of, I can't really say protection, we'll say people that kill and hurt and abuse children and sexually abuse children are nothing but a target. Because like I said, they're everywhere. There's in every prison you go to, there's going to be a child molester or a child killer or something like that. But they're completely outnumbered. They are the most hated individual that's ever stepped foot on a prison grounds. Okay, so they're just, like Vicky, it's just a complete different set of rules. You know, yes, everybody in there has broke the rules or broke the laws. They've done something horrible. They've killed somebody, done drugs, whatever. But when you put a child into that fraction, it's a whole nother ballgame. They're looked at as complete bottom feeders, and they are nothing but pure, absolute targets. Okay, so Vicky, hope that answered that question. Okay, now, someone else asked me, what do you do in prison? You know, you just sit there all day? You just lay in bed all day, read a book or whatever? Okay, I told you about the jobs, okay? And now the jobs are 4, 5, 6 hours a day. So you have a lot of other time. You have a lot of other time in your hands to do other things. And now, like with me, I am into sports. You know, we had basketball leagues, we had softball leagues. You know, we played in all those. There is an indoor gym. There's outdoor basketball courts. There was a weight yard, which I heard that the BOP was getting rid of the weights on the yard because it's nothing but weapons for inmates to use on each other, which I have seen. I did see someone get hit in the head with a barbell. That was interesting. But you know, there's a lot. Like, my thing is, like, I did the sports, but if it was raining or whatever, or there was just no games or nothing to do, or if you're not leaving the dorm, you're going to stay inside that day. You know, so much gambling goes on in prison. You know, whether it's poker, spades, shooting pool, dominoes, stuff like that. Like, if you can bet on it, it's being bet on. You know, that's just how it is. And I always thought I was a pretty good pool player. You know, I wasn't, you know, some pool shark that could just go rule the pool halls and take everybody's money. I wasn't that good, but I was okay. And I started playing. I got hustled. I got hustled bad. But I was playing this guy, and I beat him like 2 or 3 games, and we was betting, and he hustled the shit out of me because we upped the bet. And this dude was a professional fucking pool player. He wore my ass out on that pool table. His name was Pop. We called him Pops. He was a little guy. He was like 45, 50 at the time. You know, so I mean, he was one of the nicest guys you talk to. But he could shoot pool like no one's business. And then I always gamble. I still gamble to this day. But, you know, there was, you know, card games like spades and poker. I love spades. I play spades all the time. I'm really good at spades. I'll play anybody in spades. And, you know, you bet your store, your commissary. When I say store, if I ever say store, that is commissary. If I don't clarify it at that time, but store is commissary. You know, but I used to love to play. I could play dominoes. I wasn't that good, and you know, the big thing about betting on dominoes, the one that I had played, the guys that I had played with, they loved to bet water. And when I mean bet water, what they would do is they'd play a game and you'd have this jug of water, this big plastic jug of water, and if you lose, you have to guzzle that water right there. I played them, I lost quite a bit, and I had never had to piss, shit, throw up, everything in my entire life. I was so water sick that it was ridiculous. And so I made it a point right then, I would never bet water again. I mean, that, if you've never, like, you guys know when you drink or eat too much, how your stomach, you're just bloated, you're just sick. Your stomach is nothing but a big pile of concrete. Well, that's what I was, and dude, that shit sucked. But, you know, and then poker. You know, everybody played poker in there, and you'd bet your store, commissary. You know, and you'd bet tunas, stamps, whatever. Everything in there is gambling. You know, as inmates, we didn't have anything to do but gamble. It's not like we had to save our money to pay the electric bill. We didn't have to pay rent. You know, so staying and now we had a rec hall as well. That is, if you're going to the rec yard, to get to the rec yard, you have to pass a building, and it's a hall. It's just a bunch of tables and some TVs and stuff in there, and a lot of stuff would go in there. And I tell you, one of the big things, which I don't understand, I've never been part of it. I have a 28-year-old son that still does that shit, but like Dungeons and Dragons, evidently that's a really big thing. And not knocking it, I just don't understand it. I was never the child that got into that stuff, you know, and so I damn sure wasn't the adult that got into it. But you'd be amazed at how many people play Dungeons and Dragons. And I couldn't tell you the first thing about it, but that was a big thing in the rec hall. But it was just, you have to occupy yourself, and if it was raining or whatever, or you couldn't play game, you couldn't gamble, you didn't have anything on any commissary or whatever else, you'd watch TV, you'd read a book. Like, I hate reading, but I read so much in prison, especially when before I got shipped to Farrington, I was in Cumberland, Maryland, and that's when I got into a fight, and I took a pull ball, and I started hitting this guy in the head with a pull ball. Well, I read a lot when I was in the hall, because I was in there for 93 days. And when you don't have a TV, you don't have nothing. So I read a lot. So a lot of people do a lot of reading, you know. It's just, you have to find whatever you like and whatever is available. And like I said, there's sports, TV, gambling, there's anything that you want to do, you can find it in there for the most part, at least to keep you busy and occupy your time and try to keep you out of trouble. But that's a few of the activities. Vicky and Jennifer with the questions, I hope those answers I gave helped you and gave you some kind of clarity of what's going on and answers to your questions. If not, please ask again and clarify exactly what you want me to tell you, and I'll tell you everything. Guys, remember, I'm an open freaking book. But guys, thank you all so much. Then we'll get off here. Me and my wife are going to cook out and enjoy our day together. You all need to do the same. You all have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. If it's nice out, enjoy the sun. But make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and you all have a kick-ass freaking day.